Good morning, students. Today we will have one experiment number 5. To find the spring constant of a given helical spring using a spring by plotting a graph between load and extension. Right? So we have already learnt in the theory what is the meaning of a spring constant or what is the meaning of a force constant. We have learnt Hooke's law. So based on this Hooke's law, we know what is the force constant for any given spring. This is called helical spring. It is in the shape of helix. Therefore, it is called as helical spring. When we attach a load, when we connect a load to this, then there is extension in the spring. So we know that the extension in the spring is directly proportional to the load that is attached, load that is suspended. So this is what we have learned it as a Hooke's law. Then extension in the spring is also directly proportional to its restoring force. The restoring force will be towards the rigid support. Therefore, we connect the restoring force with the load. More the load, more is the restoring force. That's how we relate that restoring force is directly proportional to the extension. Restoring force is directly proportional to extension. Okay. Now, we have learned this already in the theory and we are verifying this Hooke's law using this experiment. Now, the apparatus required for this are, you can see this helical spring. This is the helical spring, right? Right? This is the helical spring. And this is the load. The load is in terms of set of slotted weights. Set of slotted weights, you can just see. There are set of about 5 to 6 slotted weights, each of 50 gram, each of 50 gram slotted weights, right? So it is a hanger with slotted weights. There are about 6 slotted weights, each of 50 gram with a hanger. And hanger is also of 50 gram weight. Yes, this is the hanger. This hanger is also of a 50 gram weight. This is the hanger, right? This hanger itself is 50 gram, and on this we are going to have slotted weights one by one, so that if I add 50 gram slotted weight, now the total weight of this load becomes 100 gram. So like this we are going to have the suspended load, and as the suspended load increases, the extension in the spring also increases. This is the principle, right? So spring, rigid support, 50 gram hanger, 5 50 gram slotted weights, right? 1 2 3, I have taken 6 here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 50 gram, each of 50 gram slotted weights, right? A set of 6. Then a vertical wooden scale is required, a fine pointer is required, and a hook. A pointer is made with the help of a thin copper wire. With the help of thin copper wire, so that will be resting on the scale. That will be just resting on the scale. So it is very thin. I don't know whether you will be able to see it. So this acts as a pointer. Copper wire, thin copper wire acts as a pointer. And you see, this is going to be the hook. I am going to suspend it to a nail. So nail is fitted to a wooden table, right? So that this will be suspended to a rigid support like this. It will be suspended to a rigid support side by side there is a wooden scale. And as we go on increasing the load, the extension in the spring also increases. So we take the observations for every suspended load, what is the corresponding extension. We calculate, and then finally we draw a graph of load versus extension. From this graph of load versus extension, we get a graph, we get a straight line graph. From that straight line graph, we conclude that the extension in the spring is directly proportional to the load. Extension in the spring is directly proportional to the load, right? More the load, more the extension. Less the load, less is the extension. So this is what we are going to verify. And using this graph, we are going to find out what is spring constant. You know that the extension in the spring is directly proportional to the load attached. When a load F is suspended from a lower free end of a spring hanging from a rigid support, the spring increases its length by an amount L. The spring increases its length by an amount L. Then the restoring force is directly proportional to the extension. So the restoring force F is equal to KL. This restoring force we can call it as spring force. The spring force is always in the opposite direction of the load attached. The spring force is the restoring force acting towards the rigid support. It is always in the opposite direction of the load. Therefore, this restoring force is directly proportional to L, or in other words, load is directly proportional to L. More the load, more is the extension. So thus we get a constant of proportionality K. This constant of proportionality we call it as force constant or spring constant, as we have learned in theory also. Therefore, spring constant K is equal to load by extension, ratio of load by extension. So here we define what is spring constant. Spring constant is a force required to produce a unit extension in the spring. It is a force required to produce unit extension in the spring. This is the theory. Now next, how to take the observations. That is interesting part. Let us see. Now you can see here there is a scale being fitted to the leg of this table, and this table is taken on another table. Okay. Now this is the helical spring with a pointer. You can see this is a pointer, a thin wire being taken. It is a pointer, and here is a hook. To this hook we are going to put this hanger. This is a hanger of 50 gram. This is a hanger for which we are going to put these slotted weights. Okay. So first we have to take this helical spring and connect it to a rigid support on the top. The rigid support is on top of the scale. The rigid support is on top of the scale. Now it is just a spring without any load. Spring without any load. Now first I am taking the reading of spring without load. Spring without load, you can see it is just showing 55.8. 55.8. So I am noting down spring without any load. It is showing 55.8. So I am noting down 55.8. This is the initial reading for 0 gram. Now I am going to put 50 gram load. Now for this 50 gram load, I am going to load 50 gram. You can see now, when I load 50 gram, there is an extension. You can see the extension here. So one can note down the extension. I am bringing it very close. Now extension, if you observe, it is about 56.8 for 50 gram. Just note down 56.8 for 50 gram. So I am noting down 56.8. When I have loaded just the load of the hanger, it is 56.8. Now in the same way, now I am going to put 50 gram more. So first I am taking out the load carefully, so that again the initial reading will be 55.8 without any load. Now I am again loading. Now it is 50 plus 50, 100 gram. Now for this 100 gram, what is the extension? Carefully I am releasing so that I can note down the extension. Extension, if you note down there, it is about 60.4. It is about 60.4. I am noting down. For 100 gram, 60.4. Now in the same way, again I am unloading and ensuring that again initial reading is 55.8. Unloading, so that before unload I can just loosen here, and now I have unloaded. Now if I see the initial reading is again 55.8. There is no permanent extension in the spring. So again I am loading 50 gram more. So now total weight with the hanger is 100 plus 50, 150 gram. Total load with the hanger is 150 gram. Now slowly I am releasing. Yes. Now for 150 gram, you can notice here, the extension is about 64.5. Extension is 64.5. This is for 150 gram. In this way, I am going on loading every time with 50 gram slotted weight until the total weight is going to be about 350. Okay, now again I am going to load carefully. See here. So initial load is again, initial reading is again 55.8 without any extension. Now it is 200 gram. So for 200 gram, let us see the extension. 200 gram, let us see the extension. Carefully I am releasing. You can watch now. Now extension is nearly 69. Nearly 69 centimeter. Now let me read the correct one, exact one. You can watch the load also. So I will go and read exact one. 68. While taking the observation, you note down that the spring should not be oscillating. 68.8. It is 68.8 at 200 grams. So what do you observe? As we go on loading more and more weight, there is a more and more extension. Extension is increasing. From 0 gram, when we increase it to 50 gram, it is extended from 55.8 to 56.8. From 50 gram, when it is increased to 100 gram, it is 60.4. From 100 to 150 gram, it is 64.5. So from 150 to 200 gram, it is 68.8. Now in this way, let us see for 250 gram. For 250 gram, what is the extension? So as we go on exerting more force, as we go on applying more and more load, extension is increasing. That's how Hooke's law is being observed here. Now for 250 gram, let me see the observation. Now it is coming out to be exactly 73. Exactly 73 centimeter. 73 centimeter. I am bringing the camera close to the pointer. It's difficult now. Okay. Yes. Now you can see it is exactly 73 centimeter. Right. Now in this way again I am extending. I am exerting more load. Applying more load. Now it is from 250. Now I am applying 300. 300, right? So for 300, let me see what is the extension. Ensure that while you are noting down the observation, the spring should not be oscillating. Spring should not be oscillating. So now I can read the observation. I am taking the camera a little away. So now you can see the hanger and the pointer is very difficult to see, but you can try to see. Now pointer will also be seen. Now you can see the observation is 77.4. Let me see once again. 77.4. Yes. For 300 is 77.4 centimeter. Now let me see for 350 gram. 350 gram. Again I am yes. I am releasing the tension. Right? So slowly I am releasing the load. Now it is extended from 77 downwards. Yes. Now it is extended still downwards. I am taking it little away. Yes. It is very difficult to see now, but again read and so it comes out to be exactly 81.4. It is coming out to be 81.4. Last reading for 400 gram. One more reading for 400 gram. Again I am ensuring the spring is relieved, and again I am adding 50 gram more. Yes. Now total weight of the load with the hanger is 400 gram. 400 gram. You can just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 into 50, it becomes 400 gram. So that is the final reading for 400 gram. Now let me see again. It is 85.6. 85.6. 85.6 centimeter. So almost it has come to the bottom part of the table. Okay. So you can just observe. This is how the pointer can be seen there. It is showing at 85.6. 85.6. Now next, this is for loading. Now what I am doing, step by step I am unloading. Same way I am unloading step by step. Now first reading is for 400 gram. Before unloading 50, the initial reading is 85.6. Now I am unloading 50 gram. Step by step I am decreasing the weight. When I decrease the 50 gram weight, you see 50 gram weight, now the pointer is at 81.5. Pointer is at exactly 81.4, right? So I am putting down in the reverse order now. 81.4. You can just check here. I am going in the reverse order. First I have been loading every time 50 gram. Now I am unloading 50 gram. So from 400 now it is 350. 350 it is 81.4, same as earlier. Now again taking it to the initial position, one more 50 gram I am taking out. Now it is becoming total load 300 gram. For 300 gram it is 77.4. 77.4. You can see the pointer now, 77.4, right. Now next, for 250 gram. For 250 gram. For 250 gram, you can see the pointer now. Yes, pointer is very thin. 250 gram, it is showing 73. Again, exactly 73. There is no much difference. 73. Earlier also it was 73. You can see earlier also it was 73. Now also it is 73. Now again, for 200 gram. Now every step I am unloading 50 gram. Now it is for 200 gram. For 200 gram, what is the corresponding extension? For 200 gram, you can see here, our line of sight should be coinciding with the pointer reading, 68.8. Again it is 68.8. 68.8. Same readings are there. There is no much difference. Now for 150 gram. 150 gram, carefully take out. For 150 gram, now you can see yes. For 150 gram, it is showing 64.5. 64.5. Almost same readings are there. There is no much difference. Now for, let us see for 100 gram. Every time we are ensuring that there is no permanent extension, permanent elongation in the spring. That should be taken care. Right? Now for 100 gram. For 100 gram, it comes out to be 60.4. 60.4. Coming back to 50 gram. Yes. Now there is only a hanger is left. Now only hanger is left. As earlier, it is showing 56.8, right, 56.8, 56.8, right. Now I am taking out even the hanger. When I take out the hanger, now it is only the spring with pointer. The spring with pointer, alone, it is showing 55.8. So it's good that there is no permanent extension. 55.8. So this is how we take the reading. The next column is we have to take the mean of the readings while loading and while unloading. So almost you are getting the same reading, right? So once we get these readings, now we are actually calculating the extension. So coming back to the board, now we have written the reading on the board. Okay, now the readings are already being taken here. Whichever I have read, the readings are being written on the board, on the tabular column. You see, the first one is number of observations. Second column is load plus hanger. That is total force that is applied in gram weight. We have taken in grams. So actually in weight it is gram weight. 1 gram weight is equal to 1 gram into 980 dyne per centimeter square. 980 gram per centimeter square. So 980 meter per second square is the acceleration due to gravity. So remember, 1 gram weight is equal to 980 dynes. 980 dyne, which is also equal to 980 centimeter per second square. 980 centimeter per second square. That's what 1 gram weight means. It's like 1 kg weight. 1 kg weight is equal to 1 kg multiplied by 9.8 meter per second square. That is equal to 9.8 Newton. Here it is in CGS units. It is 980 dynes, right? So 1 gram weight is equal to 980 gram centimeter per second square. So it becomes 980 dynes. So instead of writing every time dynes, it is being written directly in terms of gram weight. So 50 gram weight, 100 gram weight, 150 gram weight. In this way it is being written. So first 0 means when the load was not being put, even the hanger was not being taken in the spring. It is only the spring reading, pointer reading. So it corresponds to 55.8 while loading, while unloading. So these are the sets of readings. Now we have to take the average of this. Average of this is very easy now, because you see there is no much difference. So 55.8, 56.8, 60.4, 64.5, next 68.8, next 73, 77.4, right? Next 81.4 for 350 gram. Now for 400 gram it is 85.6. So we have taken nearly 9 readings. So a set of 8 slotted weights are being taken. Each slotted weight is of 50 gram weight, right? Now how to calculate extension? Extension is calculated by taking the difference. Now for 0 there is no extension. So for 50 gram there is an extension from 55.8 to 56.8. This difference we have to take. So 56.8 minus 55.8, it becomes 1 centimeter. So this becomes the extension for 50 gram weight. Now for 100 gram weight, 60.4 minus initial reading. 60.4 minus initial reading. 60.4 minus 55.8. So 14 minus 8, it becomes 6. Carry 1. 10 minus 6 is 4. So it becomes 4.6. 4.6. Right? So as we increase the load, extension also increased. That is evident. So here we can write this. You can take it as Z naught. So L is equal to Z minus Z naught. Z minus Z naught. Right? These are the Z values, and Z naught is the initial value without any load. Right? Now that's how we calculate the extension. Now for 150 gram, 64.5. 64.5 minus 55.8. So 15 minus 8 becomes 7. Carry 1. Now 14 minus 6, it becomes 8. 8.7. So as we increase the load, again you can see there is extension. The amount of extension is also increasing. Now next one is 200 gram. 68.8. 8 minus 8, 0. 8 minus 5, 3. And 6 minus 5, 1. So it is 13.0. 13.0. These are all in centimeters. We need not write every time centimeter, right? Already it is written in the head, in the tabular column. So it is 13.0 centimeter. Now for 250 gram, 73. 73 minus 73 minus 55.8. 0 minus 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Right? Next. 13 minus 6 is 7. Carry 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. So it is 17.2. So you can just put the arrow mark so that there will be no confusion. Right? Now for 300 gram, the corresponding extension is 77.4. 77.4 minus 55.8. 14 minus 8 is 6. Carry 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. And 7 minus 5 is 2. 21.6. Now similarly come to 350 gram. When we have loaded 350 gram, it is 81.4. 14 minus 8. 14 minus 8 is 6. Carry 1. 11 minus 6 is 5. Carry 1. 8 minus 6 is 2. So you can see there is extension. Now for the last reading, this is for 300 gram, next to 350 gram. Now the last reading for 400 gram, you can see 85.6. 85.6 minus 55.8. Z minus Z naught. 16 minus 8. 8. Carry 1. 5 minus 6. That is 15 minus 6 becomes 9. 15 minus 6 becomes 9. Carry 1. 8 minus 6 becomes 2. 29.8 centimeter. So these are all the extension. Now the next thing is we have to take these values of extension and draw the graph. Graph is, you can see, load versus extension. The load is taken in gram weight, extension is taken in centimeter. So if you take this extension along y-axis and this load, you see gram weight, load in gram weight along x-axis, and if you actually draw a graph, you will get a straight line graph. Some points will be not lying exactly on the straight line portion. You need not worry. Whatever the points that lie, you have to note down, and the maximum points will be lying on the straight line, and accordingly you have to draw the graph. So from this graph we can calculate what is spring constant by just taking a slope. Take any 2 points from the graph and draw a slope. Now the slope will be, see, if you mark it as ABC. Now the slope is actually extension by force, but we want force by extension. Therefore we have to calculate 1 by slope. 1 by slope is equal to here BC by AB. BC by AB. BC is a change in weight, delta F. Change in load, delta F, and AB is extension, that is delta F by delta L. So if we calculate this ratio, this comes out to be the spring constant, okay, which is measured in gram weight per centimeter. Gram weight per centimeter. Finally, that can be converted into dyne per centimeter. Dyne per centimeter in CC unit. If you want, you can also convert it into Newton per centimeter. This is one way by using graph, that is graph of extension versus load. Another way is directly calculating from the observations. You can have one more column here. In that column, we will have K equal to F by extension. F by extension directly. You can see here F. Here in the first case it is 50 gram weight. 50 gram weight divided by the corresponding extension is 1 centimeter. It becomes 50 gram weight per centimeter. Next, 100 gram weight. Corresponding extension is 4.6. 100 gram weight divided by 4.6. So next, 150 gram weight divided by 8.7. That's how we can calculate for each value what is the value of spring constant, which is calculated as gram weight per centimeter. So you can just verify these values. For every step you are going to have force constant, that is spring constant equal to load divided by extension. For every value you are going to have the observations, and then take the mean of all these observations. Take the mean of all these observations. Verify that mean value with the value that is obtained from the graph. This is from graph. This is from graph. And this is from directly the experiment. So I can write it in a proper manner. So you can see the last column. In the last column, we are calculating directly the force constant, that is spring constant, as ratio of load divided by corresponding extension. So for every observation, you will be able to get 50 gram divided by 1 centimeter, 100 gram divided by 4.6, 150 gram weight by 8.7, 200 gram weight by 13 centimeter, 250 gram weight by 17.2. So for every value, you are getting the corresponding force constant. So there will be variation in the values. Never mind. Whatever the variations are there, you need not worry. Take the mean of all these. Mean value of this one should be verified with the value which is obtained from the graph. The graph here is extension versus load. So we have taken inverse of the slope, reciprocal of the slope. 1 by slope is equal to BC divided by AB, right? That gives us delta F by delta L, which is spring constant or force constant. Thus, we verify and find out the force constant. And we have learned in the theory that spring constant of a spring determines how stiff is the spring, how strong is the spring. If the spring constant of a spring is very high, then it is a very stiff spring and very strong. It has a very high value of restoring force. For a smooth spring, right? For a smooth spring, the spring constant value will be very less. So lower the value of spring constant, smoother is the spring. Okay? The spring is going to be having less value of springiness. Okay? Thank you. Have a nice day.